Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to a new unboxing. If you're a fan of this creator, you already know what this comic is. If not, this is Future Me Problems, a game by Sarah Anderson, who does Sarah Scribbles. She does little comics that look like this. So this is a brand new game that just came out. I don't even know when it's actually for sure hitting retail. It was through the Mattel Games creation, it's their sort of like Kickstarter type fun thing they do. Is that projects that come up that let various creators come up, create products through them. And it's a really neat idea. It doesn't get as much attention as stuff like Kickstarter or GameFound, but they do create some really cool stuff. Yeah, so, and here's some other details on there. But yeah, so this is the game she has based on her comics. It's a fun little, it's kind of like a point collecting game. Now, the version I'm going to go through is because I funded it through there. I'm going to have some extra bonus stuff that you're not going to see in the retail. So the retail one might not be as big. It might be a little bit smaller box because there's not as many stuff in it. But I'll make sure I point all out. But first thing I did is I did get this big sleeve here. It has some definitely fantastic artwork on there as well. And then I got a big old box. So this box is exclusive to that. So it has a fuzzy blanket cover on it, which is really cool. And then the other reason why it's so big is because if I just open it up, it has this tray with all the sleeves, and it has a playmat. And the playmat was also an exclusive. So unless they decided, hey, you guys unlocked it, we're going to give it to everybody, which they might do. Because technically they gave out, they gave the playmat and the fuzzy thing for the box and everything was an unlockable, like, during the thing, but we didn't actually meet it during the campaign. But they decided to go ahead and give it anyhow. So since it wasn't something we technically unlocked, they might not have it be labeled as an exclusive in the end. So I can't say for sure if they're going to do that. There is a bonus pack of cards in here, which it does mention in the instruction book. There are bonus cards, so that might be part of it. But just saying, they may or may not come with them. So I won't spend a ton of time focused. I hope they come with all that stuff because it's really neat. I think they'll make the game a lot more fun. So what is this game? It's all about avoiding responsibility. So it's very simple. All the stuff, you're going to get 54 scheduling cards, which are rectangular, 42 activity cards, which are square. This has the 12 bonus activity cards, which originally were listed as the exclusive, so I'm not for sure if they're going to be or not, and a playmat. What's the point? Earn the highest score by collecting activity cards. You want to get distractions and avoid responsibilities. So setup is very easy. You lay out the playmat. Then we're going to have some square Future Me Problem activity cards. You're going to remove the one copy of the large important task card. This is basically the end game card. So you're going to remove it, shuffle the deck out, and then slide it back into the middle. Because that kind of puts it, because during the game there's going to be times you're going to draw cards from this deck, and once someone draws that card, the game is over. But there's going to be times you're going to be able to reshuffle the deck or flip it over, so it might not stay in the middle of the deck for very long. Now here's just saying if you have these extra activity cards, you can feel free to add them. It might even be, even if you own the game, you have this version, you might not want to own them the first time or two you play just to get familiar, because they add extra things to do. Then we have schedule cards. So you're going to take these rectangular cards, you're going to remove 4 nap cards from them, give 1 to each player, so everyone always has 1 to start with. Shuffle the remaining, deal them so each player has 5 cards. So in the beginning of the game, it will basically look like this. In your hand, you have a score pile, and then you'll have all the card stuff. And then you take 3 of the scheduling cards, and you lay them out for everyone to see. Very, very, very easy. So let's just crack open the playmat, and we'll take a look. This is why I really hope that everyone gets some version of this, even if they don't get this as a fancy rollout one. Even if you buy the game, you just get like a one that's flat and lays out, like a board that unfolds. I even think that would be fine. I really hope everyone gets at least some sort of board because it makes the game a lot easier to look at. Normally, I'm someone that's like, who cares about playmats? But this seems like a game that would be meant for people that are very casual gamers. So having a playmat, I think, would just help, even as I say in the book, help like ease the clutter. So you have your scheduling cards, and you have 1, 2, and 3 laid out, discard pile, and then your activity draw pile. Very simple. So we basically pull out your cards. So I haven't unwrapped them yet. Yep, so it's basically like that one's going to go there. And if I can tear this off, that stack goes there. And then you start the game by placing 3 of these out. Now, they're probably all still sorted, so I have all my naps right on top. So that doesn't really help for the game. But that's essentially how the game is laid out. And then as you play cards, you'll discard them into the discard pile. And then the future me will have, at times you might have it one way, you might have it flipped over the other direction. And that's as simple as how that works. First player is a person who woke up last. Take that, morning people. So how do you play? It is very simple. On your turn, you choose one or more cards from your hand. So your blue cards here. Place them face up in the line in front of you. This is your schedule for the turn. There are 2 rules for building a schedule. 2 cards of the same color cannot be next to each other. So like there, they're showing you have a blue, purple, and gray, which are fine, but you can't have 2 blues next to each other. And then your schedule must always end with a nap. Any card with a pillow icon is a nap. So like this one specifically says nap, just doesn't do anything, but they can have another card that has a nap after it. And then what you do is after you place all your cards, you basically follow the directions. You're setting up your schedule, what you're going to do today, and you're trying to avoid gaining responsibilities. So like this one's going to say, flip the deck over, draw 2 cards, and then free time lets you remove one of your bad cards. Then you take a nap. Then your turn's done. So yeah, it's nothing too difficult. Not a lot of things. Again, there are these bonus cards it's going to mention, which as soon as you draw one of these, they're going to have special effects. That's why I said you might want to skip them right away. It says when you finish your turn, place cards next to the completed schedule in the discard pile. Next, draw scheduled cards in any combination from the schedule deck and the schedule assistant row until you have 5 cards. After drawing, turn over a new card on the schedule deck to replace any you took. So that's what the scheduling assistant row here is for. So what it is, if, let's say I played 3 of my cards and I had to draw 3 more. I could draw 3 from the top of the deck. I could take 2 from the top of the deck and take 1 specifically from here. So you get 3 options you're going to be able to see and have an idea like, hey, I really need a nap card. I don't have anything with a pillow. So you know if there's one sitting on here, you could take one of those. Like let's say we had a swap player and a flip deck card. Let's say, ooh, I really want to swap the player for the next turn, or I'd really love to be able to flip the deck. So it gives you the option of either picking something you can see versus picking something random. And then when you take these cards and you fill it up for the next player. So yeah, that's kind of a neat little gimmick there. So it's not 100% just random whatever you have in your hand. The next player goes. Very simple. So it says, what do you do if you don't have a pillow? Maybe you didn't have one in your hand, you didn't draw one before, or you played your last one. So it says, now you must turn over the schedule deck until you find one with a pillow icon. That card becomes the final card in your schedule. Put any other scheduled card you turned over in the discard pile. For each card you turned over, including the one you added, you must return 1 positive point worth of activities. So basically this is saying if you couldn't play a pillow, so that means if you can see one here, you're going to want to make sure you have one in your hand. Grab one so you always have one ready to go. If you can't, you have to then lose points. So it says here, if you turn over 2 scheduled cards upon a pillow in the second one, You need to return any combination of activity card points to score at least 2 points. Could be 2 1-point, 2 2-points, or if you don't have them, you'd have to do a 3-point card. So yeah, not being able to have this pillow makes a big difference in how well you can score. And ending the game. As soon as any player collects the large important task card, when this happens, the active player finishes their turns. All players add up their points. Now, this can be on your turn. This could be somebody else's turn if you force them to draw cards. It's just as soon as it's done, you wrap up whatever's happening in that turn, and then the game is over. And you add up points. You score points. I'll just add up your positives, subtract your minuses, and then you're done. So, what are the different types of cards? There are large important tasks, distractions, which are blue, which give you positives, responsibilities, which are red, which give you negative effects, or points at the end game. And these are little square ones, so you're going to say like a +1 there, that one's a -1, and we'll look through them all in a moment. This actually goes through all the bonus cards, so I'm going to kind of just skip over this really quick, because we'll look at it at the end. But it's actually neat, because it explains what each card does in a little bit better detail. But you can see they actually have a bunch more effects than just being points. Then there's the scheduled cards. These are your big blue ones. You're going to have stuff like you draw cards, flip your deck, free time, swap player, nap, give cards, and more work. And we'll look at those as we go through them too. But I love that this actually describes how the turn does really well. It's a very good instruction book for a simple game. Plus, I like it goes through each card and explains how they all work. Alright, so then let's actually, look at what the cards are. So I'm just going to slide this up a little bit. And then we'll see. So we're going to look at our future problem cards. So we have some draw cards. I'm going to zoom in a bit for everybody. So just want to let you draw one card. We have some draw twos. We have another draw one. I don't know what order these are all in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that? 8. Is that 9 draw one cards? I don't know if any of these got mixed up. These are just how they came out of the box, so I haven't rearranged anything. So 9 draw one cards. So every time you play one of these, you're going to draw one card. Very simple. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 draw 2 cards. But then these also have a pillow, so if you draw 2, you have to end your turn. Now this is actually kind of neat. I didn't notice this. So we have 4 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draw 1 cards that have pillows. And then we have 4 of them that don't. So that's kind of neat. Some will force you to end your turn, some won't. It's also neat. They have a little block at the end for the pillow, a little arrow that says play another card. And that's the same thing. We have 3 without pillows and 2 with pillows. I wasn't catching that the first time. So in draw 3, we have 2 without pillows, and we have 1 with a pillow. And as a reminder, if you have the pillow, it has to be your final card. So you don't want to, hopefully you don't want to have like 4 or 5 cards in your hand with pillows. Because although, yes, playing fewer cards might help keep you from drawing the large important task and ending the game. But on the other hand, if you're only drawing 1 or 2 cards every turn and someone else is drawing like 4 or 5 because they played multiples of these in a row, yes, they have chance of getting more negative points, but they have chance of getting more positive. So unless you get like your first couple of turns, you get lucky and get a bunch of 3s, it's an interesting gambling game back and forth. We have some flip deck cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without a pillow and 1 with a pillow. So all of this does is it tells you to flip the deck over. So if it's this direction, you flip it this way, or vice versa. What's the point of that? What's nice about it is because if you flip it over, now you can see what's coming up next. So if for some reason you knew where the large important task was, which I don't know where it is in here, you saw that was on the top of the deck, or for some reason you looked through the cards and you knew it was coming up, You'd be like, oh, I know it's like 2 cards down. You could flip it, and now I have plenty of time I can draw through my deck. So that's a good way to get rid of that. We have some swap player cards. So we have 2 copies without pillows, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, we have 9 cards. I guess none of them have pillows on them. They're just kind of mixed in later. We do have 2 more copies of Flip Deck with pillows. Again, these are just how they came out of the box. I didn't go through and organize these ahead of time. I probably should have. So Flip Deck, we actually have 3 of them with pillows and 5 without. And then Swap, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 swap players. So what swap players means is when you play this card, you're going to pick another player, and they have to finish the rest of your schedule. Make any choices require. This is a great way to get someone else to do things or to draw cards you don't want to. So, if you played this first and then you had like a draw 2 and a draw 3, you could basically force someone else to have to draw 5 cards. Which again is that kind of tricky combination of it lets them potentially get a lot more points, also potentially makes them lose more points depending on what they draw. Or if you know that endgame one's coming up, it's a -5 points. That's a big hit to get. So that's actually kind of fun. Then we have 3 copies of Free Time without a pillow. And then 2 copies of Free Time with a pillow. So how does Free Time work? Free Time lets you find 1 or more responsibility card, which are the red activity cards, not the blue ones, but the bad red ones, which I can never find one when I want one. The minus points. So the negative points from your score pile and remove it from the game. So what's fun here is you actually take it out of the game, not put it back into the deck. So you can't end up giving it back to somebody else somehow. But it just removes it out of your way. Then we have some more work cards. So we have one that says -1 without a pillow, and we have 2 with a pillow. And then we have a -2 without a pillow, -2 with a pillow, and then a -3. So work cards are terrible. What they do is they make you get rid of your good blue points, so the opposite of Free Time. They make you get rid of your positive points equal to the number of points in there. So if you go a 1, you have to get rid of at least 1 point card. If you don't have a 1 point, you have to get rid of a 2 or a 3. So as long as you're getting rid of 1 point. If you have 3, again, it could be 3 1 points, a 1 and a 2, 2 2s, or a 3. It does say and then these ones it says any cards place any cards removed at the bottom of the activity deck. Just make sure they're facing the same direction. So these ones you do put back in the deck, so the point cards are shuffled back in. Then we have 3 copies of Give cards, which end with a pillow. Give cards is basically draw cards equal to the number of activity cards equal to the number of players, and then distribute them to the other players. It does say, though, however, if you draw the large important task, you must keep that card yourself. So if there's 4 players, you'll draw 4 cards. You'll get 1, and then you'll pass out 3 to the other players. But if you draw the bad large important task, you have to force yourself to keep it, but at least you just still choose the other cards. And then you have 4 nap cards, which 1 player will each get 1 at the beginning of the game, so everyone always starts with 1 card. If you are playing with less than 3 or 4 players, if you're playing a 2 or 3 player game, just shuffle the extra ones back in. So yeah, they're all fairly simple, kind of easy to understand. Plus, if you're not sure, grab the book. They have nice detail, explanations on how all these cards work. Then let's look at our future me problems. So we're just going to we have take cat pictures, coffee break, dance, random poses, annoy cat, selfie session, dwell on the past, snack break, tag friends in memes, check out social media, check news, pet dog, brain glitch, online shopping, doodle. So those are 1 point cards. We have some 2 points. We have decorate, geek out, organized closet, fight with people online, learn TikTok dance, follow a beauty tutorial, vibe to a favorite album, infinite scroll, thought spiral, disassociate in shower, new obsession. These are some 3-cost ones. Sorry, I jumped those. Solve an internet mystery. Do witchy stuff. Wikipedia rabbit hole. And read favorite book. And then the last one we had, which got shuffled there, it was daydream, which is a 1 point. Their negatives are get up on time, make the bed, water plants, clean, feed pets, practice your hobbies, meet with friends, groceries, social engagements, phone call, and then the final one, the large important task you are actually avoiding. So those are all the different ones. And they're just points, so there's nothing, again, special on those. So then we did have, we're going to quickly go through the bonus ones. I'll just leave that one up there for a sec. So again, I don't know if they're eventually going to just add all of these in, or if the Mattel store will still release special versions of these in case they had extras for some reason, or if the retail one, when it hits, would just be a smaller version. I'm not really sure what they're going to do there. There wasn't a whole lot of feedback on that. Alright, so we got the little bonus packs, so they're still going to have the same backs, but they're going to have special abilities. So we're going to have answer emails. Reveal the next card. If it's your responsibility, keep it. Otherwise, put it on the bottom of the deck. So this is kind of like a double-edged sword. You're still going to get your -1, but you could potentially get a bonus card or a bad card. So responsibilities are the red ones. Since answer is bad, you don't want to get a responsibility, but yeah, it's kind of a fun, different one. We have Caffeine Boost, which has 0, but it says draw the next 2 cards from the activity score and add them to your score pile. Surprise Nap. Your turn ends immediately, ignore the rest of your scheduled cards. Abruptly change plans. Look through another player's score pile and swap a card from their pile with one of yours. Social Media Stalker. This card is worth 2 points extra if you also have Dwell in the Past or Follow a Beauty Tutorial, although it's not worth points for each of them, only for one of them. Fictional Argument. Collect the activity deck wherever you want and restack it. So that could definitely help move that large important task from the middle of the deck. We have a -1. Check schedule. Look at the top 5 cards of the activity deck and put them back in any order. So this is kind of a fun one because you could either kind of set it up for yourself or you could set it for messing up another player's turn. It might depend on when you grab it. If you grab it first, if you get like the beginning of your turn, like your first card you draw is this one, you could set up the rest of your cards you're going to draw, which might be super helpful. If you get it on the last card you draw, you could basically, what do I do to the next person's turn? Again, these ones are fun. So we have Binge Season 1. This card is worth a number of points equal to the number of Binge Season cards you collected. So if you only have 1, it's worth 1 point. If you have 2, they're each worth 2 points, so it's worth 4. So they basically multiply. So you have Binge Season 3, 4, and 5. Yes, these are fun little extra cards. Again, I think, play the game maybe without them. Just get used to how the regular flow works. And you can add in these special effects. They also, this might be something that maybe it came in this set by itself, and they might release maybe like an expansion later, because there was also a potential add-on for a pets deck, which would have been like the Future Problems one, but it was a different back that said pets, which I think also had different colors or different points and stuff. So it's very, very possible that maybe if this game does sell well and once it hits retail, maybe they will add those in an extra little expansion. Even if they add this one with it, that'd be kind of fun for everybody. Alright, so the very last thing I want to go through is sleeving cards. I love to sleeve all my cards. Just helps me feel better. I spent so much money on these games, especially something like this. It might have exclusive things that I can't just go to like Walmart or Target and rebuy. So I like to sleeve my cards. So your Future Problems, your square ones or rectangle ones, they have, so not perfect. There's going to be a little bit of a gap on either side, but they're pretty durable sleeves. These are called standard American size, so they're 2 1/4 by 3.5 or 57 by 89 millimeter. These are the same type that I use for, because I was probably by Mattel. They're the same type that work great for the Uno games. And they're actually a little bit thicker, so they're a little bit more durable. Cards not just going to fall out very easy, so that's really nice. But yeah, it kind of helps protect it when you're shuffling, just so you're not bending the cards. Plus, if you have people over, again, especially casual gamers, you have or kids over, and people are touching it, maybe they're eating snacks, this will help keep your cards clean. So the packs come in about 50 packs. And what did it say we had? It probably said we had just more than 50. Say we had 54. So you're going to end up needing 2 packs of these to sleeve all your cards. But then you also have some extra, again, if you buy the Uno games. I don't know if regular Uno, but I have Ultimate Uno they work for. Alright, so now the tricky one are the responsibilities. I could not find sleeves that went with the activity cards. I do not have anything that works perfect. I have potentially 3 options. There are standard card sleeves. These are your regular trading cards, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Poker cards. They're 2 5/8 by 5 3/4. So if I slide, if I can find the top of this. So left to right, and these are penny sleeves. So these are a little bit cheaper sleeves that I have here, but you could buy like better quality sleeves that are more in line with this style if you wanted to. They're just a little bit more expensive. This is $1 for 100 sleeves, but the sizes are usually the same. But now this fits in left to right very well, but there's this big top, so you could always just cut that top off and it should work fairly well. Again, if you're going to buy higher quality sleeves, it's whether you want to spend $5 on a pack of sleeves and then cut them up. The next type I have are they're square sleeves, but they're 70 by 70. I can't find anything smaller than this. So this is 2 11/16. These cards are 2.5. So the problem with these is they're bigger. This is more of the same durability style as this kind, but they're also larger sleeves. They're not gonna instantly fall out, but there's a little bit of gap in there. So that's not too bad. Depending on how you shuffle your cards, these might be nice too if you don't want to have to cut stuff, but they are a little bit bigger. The third solution, which is a very stretch to do, is they have trading card sleeve packs, or sleeve for a binder, which are the 9 pocket sleeves. You can get ones that are smaller that have 2.5 size sleeves, which are meant for coin collecting and things like that. You could potentially buy one of those, buy a pack of those, and then cut in between the seams of each one. I just don't know if you can cut it well enough to not rip the bottom or the sides in between them. So that'd be a very big gamble to try and get, because you spend $20 to buy one of them and then they cut. That would kind of suck. Alright, so what I just did quick was I just took one of these penny sleeves, these cheapy regular type card sleeves. I just cut it down quick. So you can kind of see there, it's cut it up. I didn't cut it very straight, I was just doing a quick job. Now, it does hold it. It says the upside of penny sleeves versus I got like a little bit better sleeve. It's not as high quality as something like this. It's a little bit thicker, but this is still a lot more durable than a penny sleeve is. The penny sleeves, if they rip, I have 100 of them per pack. I can always force to replace them. The only downside is this game, you have to keep recutting them all the time. But when you start shuffling, sometimes they split. They don't do it super often, but it does happen. But at least the upside is if something happened when you were shuffling or playing around with the card sleeve ripped. Again, you have so many, it's not that big of a deal. So this is like more of a typical card sleeve you might buy for like your regular trading cards if you're buying them for a deck. And slide that in there. It fits a little bit more snug. So it's like this. You can kind of see this is going to kind of move around left to right in there a little bit. Where this is pretty much secure in there. It's going to hold a little bit better. Although it's hard to find ones with clear backs. So the thing is, you'd have to find one with a you can find like clear backs. It's harder to find decent ones with these with clear backs, or they're a little bit more expensive than the colored backs. You have to find one with like a blank color, so they're all the same color on the back. Or if you got one with a picture, you're going to end up cutting them. Now, you could just leave them in like this, shuffle them that way anyhow. I have a bunch of these, so I'm going to cut this just to see how well these cut. Because I just wanted to see if it was still going to hold on the side. Yeah, and it still holds pretty well on the side. So as an option you could do as well is buy one of these packs of cards and then cut them down to your size. And you could use them just, again, if you can't find the clear ones, you're probably going to want to get one with the same color. So it has a picture on the back. You're going to have to cut that picture off. And there were how many of these? 42 plus 12, so 60. So again, you'd probably need, they usually come in either packs of 50 or 80. You can find an 80 pack, you're great. If you can find just a 50 pack, you're going to have to buy 2 of them. Alright, so that's what I had for that. I just wanted to show that off, give you guys some different options in case you wanted to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed just the speaker problems, Sarah Scribbles. Check out her website. Check out Mattel Creations too. They have some fun stuff that comes up, different toys. I'm hoping to do some more videos with online creator stuff. As I go, I like to support these guys who do these web comics or YouTube channels and stuff like that when they make their games. So let me know in the comments if you like this. See you guys later. Bye.